Never gonna die!
But okay, I think we're gonna check this out. So as part of the Halo Esports content push recently, they've also come out with a couple different documentaries. One of which appears to be on Wootum, the greatest keyboard and mouse player in Halo history. So shout out to the Halo Esports channel and all the boys working on the stuff over there. This is another part of the. Obviously, they're doing kind of a big content wave for the 10-year anniversary of the HCS. So yeah, this should be interesting. A little documentary. But let's check this out. Again, shouts out to the official Halo Esports channel and all the boys over there working hard on all the content that's coming out. And we are a little bit late to this. But link will be in the description for the original video as well if you're watching this shit on YouTube. But yeah, let's check this out.
However, if Cloud9 are able to
Yeah,
get
new
this,
ITB roster is going to be so much fun to watch as well.
Back flank from Mud, 2 kills picked up by Jimbo, and you hear Foe popping off. Wootum showing off the keyboard to the crowd and saying, I'm better, I'm different, look at me. The first ever
mouse and keyboard player to place top 8 in the history of Halo. Wootum, your name will ring in the history books of Halo.
In Halo Infinite, we've seen a lot of players coming out of the EU just making plays, making history, but there's only one that's doing it on a different input, and that's Wootum.
We're talking about a mouse and keyboard player that I said on Friday could literally change the game of Halo. This has been a controller.
Shout out Tony and Timothy Active.
If there's one player to
My
convince
goats.
everyone that mouse and keyboard is viable, it is Wootum. And,
What's good, my guy? How have you been?
Hey, Wang Doodle with the Prime, 48 months, no shot, the big 4 years. Wang Doodle with the Prime. Welcome back, much respect as always.
You think as he just spawned on the map.
Love you, brother. Appreciate you, man. We've been doing great. Hope you've been well also, man. It's all love, brother. Ooh.
What a triple coming out of
Ooh.
Very quickly, I think he became the North
Shout out
Star
Tony,
for what a
bro.
mouse and keyboard pro looks
Jesus.
like.
The mouse and
Those
keyboard
ITB jerseys are
phenom,
fire. What the fuck?
looking to break Halo history as the first mouse and keyboard player ever to get top 8.
Looking back on Arlington as Wootum's first ever major, a complete breakout performance.
Cloud9 versus Foe, the #1 team in Europe.
Yeah, we're going to see who gets control of those power-ups, who gets control of these first strongholds. Let's kick it off. Wootum just laying down so
Jesus.
much damage. Long
Dealing
ball,
damage.
and over at Sneaky. Gets the flank over towards bottom control. Double kill on the board for Wootum, and he's not stopping. He's going for the C.
He's Thanos right now. I'll do it myself. Knocks 2 players to no shield, finishes up the other 2. You want something?
Damn.
We jump into a game.
Hey, I appreciate
5.
that, Wang
I
Doodle.
think it's around the
Like I said, I hope you're doing well also, man.
We've given Cloud9 camouflage. We just didn't have map positioning for it, and I just remember watching Wootum's screen, him picking up a kill on Big Door. This is on live fire. And then him just flicking to a player I didn't even see.
What the fuck?
It was the camo player. Gets a
What
dog.
the
I hear
fuck?
the crowd even over our soundproof headsets, just going crazy in a game 5 in a high.
Yeah, that's
pressure
actually
scenario.
crazy.
Back flank from Mud. 2
That's
kills
fucking
picked
nuts.
up by Jimbo, and you hear Foe popping off. Wootum showing off the keyboard to the crowd and saying, I'm better, I'm different, look at me.
The first ever mouse and keyboard player to place top 8 in the history of Halo.
We've all seen the picture, right? Wootum's holding that keyboard up, almost like he's won WWE World Championship belt. He's holding it aloft and almost showing the crowd, I am here. Not only am I here, but this is what I'm doing it on.
He even shocked me when he did the keyboard things. To me, it's so out of nature for the personality of Doom to me, so I think it was great that he did that.
Because he didn't tell any of us he was going to do that.
I actually didn't plan it at all. It just, the thought just came to me after he won, and I was like, I'll just do this. Like, it just made sense, I guess, at the time.
I think the moment took over him, and it's now iconic. I mean, I think I said on social media or something, hang it in the Louvre, because it's worthy of being in a Halo museum for sure. That for me is
New
a key
Shopify
moment
roster is
in
sick.
Halo history.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that team play. Interesting to see. Obviously, that phase talks core breakup.
Mouse and keyboard player first to ever get top 8.
It's my
Definitely.
first HCS event, and I made top 8 already. And we're not stopping there.
First ACS win in top 8. Is that something?
But it's definitely a little sad to see like Royal 2 and Snakebite break up.
Support. I love all the MNK players and all the Controls players as well who support me. It's amazing. I appreciate it very, very much.
I remember being
Shout out
around
this brother
him
Woodham, Brad.
after that happened.
Crazy
and so many
SSG broke
people
up.
wanted to
Crazy
say
that
like,
phase talks broke
They
up.
watch him play keyboard and mouse because they.
Optic is the only one that's kind of
There's a
understandable
lot of
because
people that
obviously
were
they're after
moved
championships
by how
and
well he has been
6
playing.
second places in a row is fucking
was
tough.
chanting his name, and rightfully
New Shopify
so.
roster is
I
cool
just
though.
wanna
It's a
give
really
the
interesting blend
utmost
of
respect
the
and
legends
props to that
in
young
Frosty
man
and
on
World
stage. He
2
is 17
and
years
also
old,
some new
but,
up and coming talent
not only is
in
he
Cycle
so
and
young
Last
the
Shot.
youngest we have in the HCS, but he's come on stage with a mouse and keyboard, which is something that we don't see often in the HCS, and to do what he just did with his team, high pressure situation. If I had a hat,
Yeah,
I'd be flinging it in
I
this
wish
arena.
Lunchbox was
Unbelievable
still
from
on
Wutum
on
and
the
rest of the
roster.
team.
Just after that, we played against Proton, and
I wonder if
we
that
thought
means
we
they
were
have a
done and
plan
out. We
for
were down 2-0
another
in the
coach.
series. We lost the first round of Oddball.
I'll be honest, I was telling the guys, hey, we can reverse sweep this, we can come back, don't worry, like we've got this. And I didn't truly believe it at the time, but that's my job as a coach. And we were something like a couple of seconds away from being eliminated. We managed to win the round 2 and then close out the Oddball. And from that point, I just see Wutum growing confidence. We end up reverse sweeping for top 6 and more history at his first ever major.
Wow,
Crazy.
So Foe, they were 2-0 down, I'm fairly certain. So I think that's a reverse sweep, and that means Wutum, top 6 MNK player. More history.
Raise the keyboard higher, maybe.
Just keep it going. Make the spacebar even bigger.
You know, that was my first event as well, so that event really proved to me that not only is mouse and keyboard viable in Halo, but also just that we can really just be a really good team as well.
5th place at Arlington, 5th place at Atlanta. You think about the experience that he doesn't have and that he's starting to gain. He's going to continue to get better.
Say he did the same shit at Atlanta, bro.
Sky really does feel.
Because I wasn't at Arlington, but I was at
we're talking
Atlanta.
about Wutum.
49-47.
But there it is!
SLG falls, as do Quadrant. ITB topple the European champions.
That series was sick. This event was fun, man.
Keyboard is raised aloft once more as the best ever mouse and keyboard player in the history of Halo does it yet again, and it's against European competition.
I remember when we first heard about Halo going to PC, a lot of people, they were worried about what mouse and keyboard was going to look like in Halo. You know, would it be super strong? Would it be weak?
I was actually following the launch of Halo Infinite before they had announced that mouse and keyboard was actually going to be allowed, sort of waiting and hoping that it would happen.
Yeah, look, that's a pretty terrifying prospect, even at the best of times. Meadow in a bit of trouble. Scoob, he's going for it. He's going. Whoa! Onto Alcazar.
Well, I was still competing in Valorant at the time that I knew it was going to be viable to play mouse and keyboard. As soon as I found out, I told my Valorant team that I was leaving and I was coming to Halo. Yeah, it was a pretty instantaneous decision.
Did I ever expect to see mouse and keyboards players getting into the top
Found
6?
Formal and Renegade are my
Definitely
top
not
3
one
favorite
that I'd
players
never
with
heard
Stellar,
of.
so I'm
Definitely
happy.
not someone that wasn't already
Gonna be
a
hyped to watch
professional
Optic this
Halo
year.
player that
I mean, same.
knew had established themselves and maybe just changed inputs.
I'm a Formal
But then
guy,
came
so
Wutum.
After the dub, this whole place was chanting your name.
I'm definitely excited to see that team play.
Tied up in the hill time.
Ugh.
For 2 down for Shopify. This might be it.
They were down 1-3 in the game, but a massive comeback could be it. A double kill out of Wutum to close it out. That's 3 in a row. Forward to stealing it away.
The first game that I really played competitively was Splitgate.
Playing for Space Station Gaming, which is a huge org.
We never placed outside top 2 in any major tournament. There was definitely some overlap coming from Splitgate to Halo. I got the hang of Halo pretty fast, even though this is my first Halo title ever.
That makes sense. Splitgate mechanically very similar.
That's definitely part of why
I mean,
it's so nasty.
Splitgate just Halo Portal, right?
Perhaps smelling defeat and what that might mean for them. With Woodham
I never
getting a
played
headshot
Splitgate,
on
but
the
that's my
side
understanding at
Quickly,
least.
I learned mouse and keyboard's actually a lot more fun than controller because I'm not limited to a sense. On mouse and keyboard, I'm kind of responsible just for the sense that I can control, and I can look in any direction however fast I want based off the swing of an arm, based off the flick of a wrist.
Love this play from Wootum as well. Relocates top middle. He's able to clean up the kill. A 5-kill lead for Foe. Able to stay alive with a quick flick of the repulse.
If you get shot in the back, you can turn way faster than a controller player, so you can just do more damage. Like, even if you don't win that fight, you still do damage, which can be really helpful.
There's just a lot more versatility to mouse and keyboard, so there's like arguably a higher skill ceiling.
So sick.
I view myself as better on mouse and keyboard than controller now.
I think mouse and keyboard's better.
Great shot of snipe, but he can't avoid that one. Wootum
can tell by the flicks and the tricks coming in on his screen with this flag run. It is, of course, the mouse and keyboard phenomenon that is Wootum. Already got this one back to his side. Just look at the kill lead in a moment. Nobody's here. Nobody's picking up kills, but Wootum's running flags home.
It's strange when you look at mouse and keyboard players because they all seem to have a very similar play style, right? They play that anchor position. They'll be players sitting behind their team doing a lot of damage, but Wootum was something different, something special.
Wootum is aggressive. Wootum is an entry fragger, but he also plays on like probably twice the sense of most of your mouse and keyboard players.
He plays 120 FOV, as fish-eyed as you can get.
Jesus.
His sensitivity and DPI is just off the charts.
He sort of plays it like a manslayer. Like, he gets way more slayers than the rest of his team most of the time from what I've seen.
Wootum's able to hit 5 shots while that close range dance in Halo is going on, and that's probably the hardest part for mouse and keyboard. Long range fights and mid range fights, pretty easy for mouse and keyboards, but those close range combats is a big reason I think a lot of our pros that are on controller don't make the switch, just because those are the most difficult things. Wootum makes them look easy.
When you're up against controller players who are very consistent at hitting their shots, you have to be sort of a top player to match that, especially at the highest level. Like, they don't miss, so.
Close range, controller is just better in my opinion.
Those close range fights are going to kill you every single time. It doesn't for Wootum though.
Even though I just said MNK is probably worse close range than controller, I still don't really care that much.
The first BR was brilliant timing.
His brother's Thanos.
Oh, it's Wootum.
His brother don't give a fuck.
Figure out what Wootum's got. All I know is he's got WASD and he's putting it to work here.
Ugh.
Just decides, I'll do it myself. A pure point. Rob gets bodied as well, and Wootum is doing it himself at the moment. Oh,
Ugh.
He gets to stop as well on Jerry.
He's just so confident in how he plays.
Almost like he didn't care
This guy's
who
gross.
was in front of him or what was in front of him. Ultimate ruthless aggression in your face, putting shots down and hitting 5s.
He's definitely a monstrous mouse and keyboard player.
When you have a full package, you have the most dangerous mouse and keyboard player in the league and in history.
It's great being on Wootum's point of view, just in general. I mean, the highest placing mouse and keyboard player ever in Halo history.
But Wootum really is that trendsetter, carving that path open for other players to follow, because not only are you seeing
And
a player
they
on
play
mouse
and never
keyboard be
forget.
very
There it is.
successful, but now you almost believe that if you play on that input that you're not at the disadvantage that you once thought you had. So I think there's a lot to be said about what Wootum is doing for the mouse and keyboard community.
Having this MNK community like behind me, supporting me is like really awesome.
When they're shouting his name, when they're raising their keyboards in the crowd and Wootum sees that,
Everyone
I can
shut up, I
imagine
am
you
right
feed
here.
off of that, that passion, that energy, that must really
Yo, Ease tier 1 for 7 months. Welcome back.
Where you can see it's viable in this esport that
What's
has
good,
been
bro?
controller dominated for so long.
And so many people are now gravitating towards this game and giving
That
it
shot
a
of the
try
original
that are mouse and
Halo 2,
keyboard
that
names
shows-
because of what they've seen
that shows
him
gas.
be able to do.
The ball was going to make that rotation because he was trying to keep arcade side locked down. Always something we talk about. We harp on about it. Double kill for Wootum.
I think a lot of people see him as a mouse and keyboard player, maybe look at it as a bit of a gimmick. It's, for me, the mentality that he brings. Sometimes he's the one telling the rest of the team, hey, we're still in this.
The guy is cracked, dude, and as being so young. And one of the things you guys probably didn't see on the background is, oh yes, he's cracked and keeping an eye, but his mental.
The guy is
yesterday, a lot
cracked.
of us were kind of like down in the dumps, and this guy comes in our hotel room and he's like,
That brother's shaking, bro.
Like day to day. Like,
They
we
probably
don't
just
dwell on
won.
the
He
past,
probably
just think
got
about
crazy
the future. And I'm
adrenaline.
sitting there thinking as like the captain of the team, like, all right, this guy's telling me what to do, and I'm like, I'm embracing that, and that's definitely helped us today. So this guy is.
Either that or he was
absolute
just
legend
shaking the
for
water
ages
and I'm
at.
just fucking.
I don't really think about
Fucking
the
shit.
input I'm on. I'm just thinking about making the right play. You know, it's just being a good Halo player, you know, overall, rather than just being a good mouse and keyboard player, if that makes sense.
For a newcomer, a rookie, particularly playing on an input that is not the most meta, it's really testament to the kind of player that he is, that he's coming face to face with 3-time world champions, playing against Snakebite, Royal 2, playing against FPS gods in Formal, and he's not backing down. He is in your face. It's a confidence thing, but it's also he believes in his ability and he has the skill to pull off those really high risk, high reward plays. Like I say, Wootum, he's got something special.
That top 6 performance at Arlington gave me chills, gave me goosebumps. I was actually commentating over it. I remember feeling something that I hadn't felt
I know, right?
before
He's
commentating, because
that's an interesting
in
point.
this moment, this hard work that the Competitive Insights team had put in up at the studio to help balance mouse and key for years, and all of these different conversations, meetings, play tests, everything that had gone into helping mouse and keyboard be able to stand in the arena with controller. It all felt like it came full circle, and this kid was the truth. This kid was the best player on his team. This kid was the reason his team broke the barrier into the top 6. And I couldn't have been any happier to see that kid holding up that keyboard after that series.
That's fire. That's so fire. Alright, man. Shout out to the Halo Esports channel. As usual. Who the fuck is this guy? You might be the GOAT. You might be the GOAT. But alright.